This is Egypt, the world's largest Arab country in the northeast of Africa, which is going to surprise the whole world very soon. Egypt is not an ordinary country. It is the birthplace of one of the oldest, most powerful and long-lasting civilizations on Earth. Egypt is a home of ancient concepts and mysteries, and one of these mysteries is Egypt's geography. If we look at the map of Egypt, it covers a total area of 4 lakh square miles, where 97% of the area is covered by deserts, and that is why life here has always been a challenge. Even today, 90% of Egypt is completely empty. Then how did the ancient Egyptians succeed in creating such powerful empires here? The answer is the mighty Nile River. It is 4,000 miles long and is the world's largest river. Without it, the Egyptian civilization would not have survived. There is a saying that Egypt is from the Nile and the Nile is from Egypt. Even today, the entire population of Egypt lies here in the north and on the banks of the Nile River. And the most interesting thing is that Egypt is the only country in the world whose population pattern and the route of the Nile River can be clearly seen even at night from the satellite. Because of this river, despite being surrounded by the hottest desert like the Sahara Desert, Egypt has always been the agricultural hub of the world. 30% of the Roman Empire's wheat supply came from Egypt. Even today, this river is Egypt's lifeline. 90% of Egypt's population lives along this river, while the rest of the population lives here in the New Valley Matro and Sinai along the Red Sea. And the reason for this population pattern is that 80% of Egypt's agricultural land is along this Nile River. Because of this river, Egypt is still among the top 5 countries in the world in producing onions, dates and garlic. But now the problem is that the population of Egypt is increasing very fast. Between 1920 and 2020, the population of Egypt increased 8 times, and today in 2024, the population of Egypt has crossed 11 crores, and that is why Egypt is the largest Arab country in terms of population. By 2050, the population of Egypt will reach 16 crores, and for so many people, only 4% of agricultural land is very less. Due to urbanization, the agricultural land of Egypt is decreasing by 2% every 10 years, and if it continues like this, then by 2050 Egypt will become a victim of a very strong famine. That is why Egypt has only one solution to solve this problem. 26 years have passed, and even today, Egypt's 50% food supply is being imported from outside, and these imports are a huge burden on Egypt's GDP. To overcome this, Egypt is building the world's largest artificial river, which will transform this 9,000 square kilometer desert into agricultural land, and Egypt has done similar work before as well. Between 2015 and 2000, Egypt converted 5,000 square kilometers of desert into agricultural land. In 2021, President Al-Sisi announced this new Delta project. In this project, an artificial river will be built through the river, which will be the world's largest artificial river. Darya Nile actually starts from Lake Victoria in Uganda and crosses Northeast Africa and reaches the Mediterranean. Now what is happening is that water is supplied to the fields from the Nile River through a branch called Rosetta Branch. All this is wastewater which comes from the fields, and this water later used to fall into the Mediterranean Sea. So now Egypt is doing that. Instead of making this branch fall into the Mediterranean, it is making it an artificial river. The route of this river is such that it will start from the Rosetta branch, and after running 50 km along the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea, it will stop at the edge of the Nile Delta. Here, through 103-meter pipes, the water of this river will be transported to this Al Human water treatment plant 64 km away in the middle of the desert, and here 7.5 million cubic be used for farming here. Similarly, 125 km from this plant farther east, water will be supplied through pipes directly from the Nile River, and thus, with the help of these two water supplies, this 9,000 square area will be made lush green. Agricultural land will increase to 23%, and many crops can be grown here, and then due to its proximity to the coastline, all these food supplies can be easily exported. This project will be able to provide food for millions of people. Jobs will be created for 50 lakh people and Egypt's dependence on food imports will end completely. Work is going on at a fast pace on this project. In 2023, satellite images of the construction site were released in which it can be seen how this project been completed up to 40%. In June 2023, fresh water was also released here for the first time. Similarly, in satellite images, it can also be seen that circular fields have also been created in the waste of this treatment plant, where irrigation is going on at full speed. All in all, if the work continues at this speed, then in the next 2 years this project will be completed and Egypt will get a new livelihood. It will change the fate, but on the other hand, Egypt is also taking some surprising decisions for which it may have to pay a heavy price. Like in 2015, the Egyptian government announced that it will change the capital of Egypt from Cairo and build a new city 50 km away in the desert, on which construction is going on since 2016, but due to this investment, it has gone into a debt of $58 billion, and this is where the UAE has entered. UAE and Cairo have signed a deal according to which UAE has bought Egypt's city, Ras Al Hikam, for $35 billion. State-of-the-art infrastructure will be built in this city, and some analysts think that this will be the new Dubai of the Middle East. But on the other hand, some Egyptian analysts are also saying that with this deal, President Sisi has not only changed this city, but also Egypt. The UAE has also sold the Soviet Union. Now Egypt will have to do what the UAE says. On the other hand, Egypt's role in the Israel-Palestine war is also being criticized a lot. So on one hand, Egypt is working on very ambitious projects, and on the other hand, some of its decisions have caused dangerous consequences for it in the future. See you in the next video with another interesting topic. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.